Service to others has been a central part of the American heritage since our nation was founded. Thomas Jefferson. That my country be served is the first wish of my heart. I shall be doubly happy if I were to render it a service. Booker T. Washington. In proportion as one renders service, he becomes great. Cesar Chavez. We cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about progress and prosperity for our community. Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others for their sakes and for our own. The Corporation for National and Community Service, which includes AmeriCorps VISTA, is based on this great American ideal of service. It calls upon Americans of all ages, races, and faiths to contribute in meaningful ways to their communities, to fortify the civic connections that make us strong as a nation, to serve one another. The Corporation for National and Community Service is itself a community of service opportunities. It includes 3 broad programs. The AmeriCorps program. Learn and Serve America, a program that engages young people from kindergarten to higher education in community service connected to learning. The National Senior Service Corps, which includes foster grandparents, low-income seniors who mentor youth, senior companions, low-income seniors who provide friendship and support for other seniors, and retired and senior volunteer program, a wide array of volunteer programs for seniors. AmeriCorps itself is comprised of 3 programs. The National Civilian Community Corps, NCCC, in which 18 to 24-year-olds live on campuses and engage in direct service projects in teams, building homes, cleaning parks, tutoring children, providing disaster relief, and much more. The AmeriCorps State and National Program, sometimes referred to as just AmeriCorps, whose members serve full or part-time, usually providing direct service with organizations around the country, including Teach for America, City Year, Public Allies, and many others. And AmeriCorps VISTA, the anti-poverty arm of AmeriCorps that was begun in 1965. What makes AmeriCorps VISTA unique within AmeriCorps? First, AmeriCorps VISTA members are the only one of the 3 AmeriCorps programs that focus exclusively on fighting poverty. VISTA members commit a year or more of their lives to help those who, in the words of President George W. Bush, prosperity has left behind. AmeriCorps VISTA is dedicated to this proposition, that no one should go hungry in America. No one should be without a home, a good education, and a livable income. Second, AmeriCorps VISTA members focus exclusively on building the capacity of organizations and communities. AmeriCorps VISTA members do not perform direct service. They don't directly tutor children or build homes or feed the hungry. Instead, they help create or expand community-based programs, services, and systems that help individuals in poor communities improve their lives for the long term. Third, AmeriCorps VISTA members totally immerse themselves in their communities and projects, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The AmeriCorps VISTA members live and work with the poor to help them develop their own solutions to poverty. They engage in no outside employment or in any education not directly related to their assignment. These 3 guiding principles of VISTA, its exclusive focus on poverty, building sustainable solutions, and total immersion in the project and community, are the same that have guided the more than 140,000 volunteers in service to America who have served since 1965. The VISTA legacy has its roots in a small group of people charged by President John F. Kennedy with the task of combating poverty at home and abroad. In 1963, Kennedy launched the Peace Corps, which sent volunteers overseas, and in 1964, President Johnson created Volunteers in Service to America, VISTA, as one of his centerpieces to the war on poverty at home. The first 20 VISTAs, who began their service in January 1965, were welcomed to the White House with these words by President Johnson. "Your pay will be low, the conditions of your labor often will be difficult, but you will have the satisfaction of leading a great national effort, and you will have the ultimate reward which comes to those who serve their fellow citizens." These first VISTA members were inspired by the spirit of the 1960s to do all that could be done to address the social ills of the time. They heeded by their actions the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "The curse of poverty has no justification in our age." Those first VISTAs jump-started a decade of service that would lead to numerous new Head Start programs, neighborhood watch groups, credit unions, and agricultural cooperatives, all of which built capacity within low-income communities. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, through both Republican and Democrat administrations, VISTA proudly carried on with its anti-poverty mission. Quietly, persistently, VISTAs helped establish daycare centers in migrant communities, adult education programs in inner cities, and community health centers on Indian reservations. Then, in the early 1990s, the VISTA program gained new prominence when President George Bush established the Commission on National and Community Service as part of his 1,000 Points of Light initiative. President Bush stated, "Theirs is a quiet mission, but no light is more dazzling, brighter than that of the VISTA volunteers." In 1993, President Bill Clinton created the Corporation for National and Community Service and the AmeriCorps program. And by the end of the decade, the newly named AmeriCorps VISTA program was fielding an all-time high 6,000 members each year. But the great living legacy of VISTA belongs not only to past, current, and future VISTA members, but also to the people they serve, the people they come to know, live with, work with, befriend, and respect during their service. Surrounding every successful VISTA member is a community committed to improving their lives and offering a helping hand to one another. By joining with the communities they serve, AmeriCorps VISTA members ensure that the solutions they help build will live on. The VISTA legacy is the story of countless unsung heroes. It's the story of Teresa Undum, who tripled funding for a Minneapolis shelter; Damita Wells, who helped start a Nashville tutoring program for prison inmates; Nick Flores, who helped found a New Mexico drug and alcohol treatment program; and Susan Schotten, who integrated services for the homeless in Washington, D.C. It's the story of VISTA members creating reading and childcare programs for the poor in different parts of the country, 30 years and 3,000 miles apart. But the VISTA legacy spans not only time and geography. It also spans race, religion, gender, political views, and physical abilities. Though VISTA members come from different backgrounds, each has something in common: the choice they make to serve a community in need. Another common characteristic of VISTA, one every VISTA member will tell you about his or her service, that they gained far more than they gave. Through new skills, experiences, wisdom, and friendships that have transformed their lives and last a lifetime. In addition to the many unsung heroes, VISTA has its share of famous alumni. Senator Jay Rockefeller, Xerox CEO Ann Mulcahy, Car Talk radio host Ray Magliozzi, Land O'Lakes President Jack Garrity, Supreme Court Justice Paul Anderson, and Wisconsin Senator Gwendolyn Moore. All were volunteers in service to America, and each of them cites their VISTA service as one of the most powerful and rewarding experiences of their lives. Or, as former VISTA Karen Stronin puts it, "The experience changed my whole focus. You walk in expecting to give something back and then receive so much more." VISTA is nothing if not a shared experience, one that crosses all boundaries. Whether an AmeriCorps VISTA member raises $500,000 for a housing effort or helps to improve a literacy program for a community of 50 people, each member feels the inspiration and pride of having contributed to a noble mission. AmeriCorps VISTA members may not have eradicated poverty, but they are making a difference. One person, one family, one community at a time.